Welcome to the Grassroots Army Podcast. This platform is for common sense people looking for up-to-date, accurate, and truthful information without the hot garbage corporate media bias. The power of one can lead to the power of many. You never know what small act that you may say or do that may literally change the lives of millions tomorrow. And don't you ever think that you can't make a difference, because you can. Good morning, my fellow Michiganders. Good morning, my fellow Americans. Welcome to the Grassroots Army Podcast. I am, of course, your host, Garrett Soldano, and we are going to get right after it today because I got some good stuff. Got some old video footage. If you guys been following me on X, sometimes with Facebook, I get a little censored, so a lot of these videos don't get the playing time. That's why I like to show them on my lives, so you guys that follow me, you can get this information, because what I am trying to do right now is kind of put out Governor Whitmer's narrative. As you can see, she's flying all over the country. She was in Texas. I think she was in Wisconsin last night, and she's trying to push out a narrative. Some are saying that maybe it's a shadow campaign for when President Biden gets pulled, right? Which we all can see his mental decline continually going down, even though they constantly say this is just Republican fake news, that we're altering videos. And look, there is so much evidence of his mental decline. It's not even funny. It's actually pretty much horrifying. And with that being said, I want to share with you a quote that I saw yesterday that is pretty powerful, with how they just kind of continue with a narrative. And this quote is actually from George Orwell, 1984. The party told you to reject the evidence of your eyes and ears. It was their final, most essential command. So obviously, this quote really shows what a regime will do to manipulate the reality and truth. It highlights, very powerful quote, it highlights the extent of a party's control over the population, forcing them to disregard their own perceptions, accept the party's version of reality. So that kind of reminds you of the pandemic, right? Of anyone that stood up, got deplatformed, got censored, and they just constantly pumped out a narrative 24/7. And unfortunately, majority of society fell for that narrative. Now, I really feel that a lot of people have awakened from this. But what I'm doing and what I'm trying to do is bust up that narrative. And that's why I've been going around with my butt on fire for over the past 4 years, posting stuff, trying to keep up with the narrative. And so I'm going to show some video footage that we have from the archives of us doing just that. I want to keep at the forefront of people's brains of what Governor Whitmer did to the state. If you recall, she masked up babies. Do you remember that? Do you remember they masked up babies? A lot of people just forget. And they want you to forget. They don't want you to talk about it. So I'm going to remind everyone and continue to remind, and I will continue to post videos of Governor Whitmer, what she's done, because I have archives of video footage because of our not only standing up before our run for governor, and I'm going to continue to post it to keep it at the forefront of people's minds, because I would do everything in my power to make sure that people know, because this woman, that woman from Michigan, as they call her, has her eyes on the White House. Maybe this time, I think she's in a running for when Biden gets pulled, but definitely in 2028, because they have really no one else left in the bullpen. And so I will do everything that I can to continue to push back, because I know what she has done to this state and what she continues to do to the state, which brings me to my first video. If you guys saw yesterday, or actually 2 days ago, I posted an article that was shared with me about Governor Whitmer running our state into the ground. It was on MSN. It was sent to me, and I looked at it. I read the article. I was like, holy cow, this is a fantastic article that really shows the truth. And so I shared it everywhere, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, every platform that I have, Truth Social, Rumble, everywhere, Telegram. And a couple hours later, the link didn't work. The article was poof, gone. And I was like scratching my head, so I know it was there. I read the article. And so I was searching for it. And then a supporter yesterday emailed me, say, hey, this is how you can find articles that people have taken down. So you go to do a Google search and you put in colon, and then the link to the article if you still have it. And I had it. And so lo and behold, there was the article. So I made a video yesterday and posted it everywhere and said, hey, I found the article that they took down. And the article was very damning. And I can understand why MSN took it down, right? So that is the insanity of all this, is that they try to keep with the narrative, and anything that's going to hurt that narrative, they shadow ban, they take down, they censor. It didn't happen, because you should have seen the attacks that I got on X on people saying you screenshotted, you photoshopped that article. That's not real. And after I found it, I just kept posting. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. The video. And then it went crickets. All right. So let me show you this. It's pretty powerful stuff.
So yesterday I posted a link to a pretty damning article about Governor Gretchen Whitmer. It was from MSN, and I read it and I was like, wow, that's pretty good. So I posted it on all my platforms, and the title of the article was Gretchen Whitmer Slowly But Surely Destroying Michigan Businesses. Okay. So I posted it, and a few hours later, poof, the article was gone. The link did not work. So I've been scrambling around everywhere trying to find this thing, scratching my head, and a supporter actually messaged me, and you know who you are, and thank you. He messaged me how to find articles that was deleted. And so what you do is you go to Google and you type in the keyword cache, and you put the link in, and then it comes up. I got the article right here. So I'm going to turn this around so you guys can read it, and I'm going to video record it. So here we go.
So this is where I went. This is where the supporter sent me to find missing articles. So that's what you do. You just highlight that, or you highlight that, put the web address in of the article, which I still had, and boom, that's what comes up. True story. So here we go. Here's the article. So hopefully this will stay up. There it is. I'm going to come down and let you read it. Wild. Since Governor Gretchen Whitmer took office in 2019, the number of Michigan-based companies on the prestigious ranking has nearly halved, dropping from 30 to just 16 in 2024. Here's the full story. The major departure, Kellogg's. The most notable departure from the list was Kellogg Company, a long-standing Michigan giant. Kellogg's significant restructuring in 2023 led to the split of its cereal, snacks, and plant-based food businesses into separate entities. The majority of its operations were located from Battle Creek to Chicago, a move that had substantial consequences. The current listing come down. Kellogg's, which boasted $15.3 billion in sales and was ranked the 270th largest firm in the U.S. last year, is no longer on the list. The cereal business, WK Kellogg Company, remains in Battle Creek but is not ranked, while the new snack company, Kellanova, based in Chicago, is positioned at number 272. More casualties. Another casualty was Jackson Financial, a retail annuity seller based in Lansing in 20. So you can watch that entire video that I posted everywhere of the article. And here's what I want to point out. Like, that was posted on MSN, and that article link still does not work. And another article, similar article, was posted on, I think somebody commented, the Midwesterner, which was true. There was a similar article that was written about it. But my whole point is they posted it and then they took it down. And the news, which we all know, is they're all hot garbage. We know that they're left, they lean left, they're going to push out a narrative. They all do it. But again, I like to show these things, not for the people on the right, not for the people on the left, but the people in the middle who still got their head in the sand on some things, that really think that CBS Evening News and CNN, that's where the truth is. And so I like to push this stuff out to kind of break down the belief system, to let them see and understand and realize, like, hey, look, these people are only going to push out their side's narrative. And so we can constantly break that down, and hopefully they can start activating and getting the truth that, hey, look, no matter how much Governor Whitmer posts on her socials, and she has a very good social media team, that everything in Michigan is sunshine and rainbows, that it's not. It's been very, very bad for a very long time. And so the reason I push this out, not to talk to our own echo chamber, because we know, but it's to reach the middle. And especially in the state of Michigan, the middle is how we win up and down the ticket. Okay. So I will continue to push that narrative nonstop, which is going to bring me to the next point. Have a little great video. Had the honor yesterday, Bill Huizenga invited me, to his event with Jim Jordan a couple days ago. It was a fantastic event. They both did a fantastic job. Justin Barclay was the moderator. Tudor Dixon was there. She was the MC. She gave a great speech. I was honored to give the pledge in the beginning and do a little short speech to fire up everyone. But I love Jim Jordan's his interaction with Donald Trump on the night that the FBI raided Donald Trump's house. And so he shares the story. I'm going to show you the clip of it, of what happened when he called President Trump. So it's pretty cool. And it just shows you, how President Trump is always going to have that, half glass full attitude. He's positive, and it's pretty great. So I wanted to show you all this clip. So here it is.
You've got to tell this story.
Well, so this was 2 August ago. So remember when they raided his home, right? We're all like watching the TV, and we're like, this is not supposed to happen in America. This is just unbelievable. We never thought we'd see this. You're all kind of, your jaw sort of hanging out. You're watching. Well, Polly and I are watching. We're standing on our deck. We're watching the TV. It's about 10 o'clock at night, and I'm like, this is unbelievable. And you feel for the guy, because like, no one wants FBI, with the windbreakers and FBI across the back going through your house. So I told Polly, I'm just going to call him. So I call him up, and he doesn't even say hello. He just, when he gets the phone, all he says is, Jim, this is the best thing that's ever happened to our party. he goes, my numbers are going to go up. Talk about seeing seeing the positive side of things, and that is, I feel fortunate. I've gotten to know him over the last 8 years. Phil has, John. You've got to talk with him, interviewing, and I probably talk to him every week, almost every week. Every single time I talk to him, I laugh about something. And I just like his. I told a group of he hates to lose, and that is a great American quality. Americans are not losers. Americans are winners. The same people who start, risk it all on the ship. That's just an attitude. Americans have I call it my favorite scripture verse, 2 Timothy 4:7. Paul's the old guy giving advice to the young guy, Timothy. What's he say? Fight the good fight, finish the course, keep the faith. And I love that verse because of the action and the energy in it. That's President Trump's attitude. That's an American attitude. So I like that so much. That's kind of attitude I think we need at this point in history, not just from him, but from all of us. But you want a leader who has that, and he's tough, and he's not intimidated by any world leader. In fact, he's usually the one that's getting them to do the things that need to be done for the benefit of the United States, which, as I said earlier, is good for the planet.
I mean, what a breath of fresh air, right? And so I like to share those things to kind of give you like the other side of the equation, because a lot of people don't get to see that type of footage. We really don't. So whenever I'm at those events and I have the opportunity to record those things to bring you guys, these folks are just ordinary people like yourselves. Jim, we see him on social media. We see him on TV, constantly holding people accountable. And just to listen to him speak in person, he's just one of us. And we all are, right? And so we tend to put these politicians, these elected officials on a pedestal, but he made some very good comments, and I'm going to post those throughout the week here about, this is America, and it's up to you, the ordinary citizens, to do extraordinary things. This is the only country in the world that, regardless if you're a convicted felon or your past or anything else, you can rise to actually be the president of the United States. That's pretty remarkable. And so you never know what small act that you may do. I said that time and time again, that may literally change the lives of millions tomorrow. The reason you watch me and if you follow me is because I made a video 4 years ago. And if you guys have been following me for years, you have seen that I have not let up. I have been nonstop fighting for this country. And that's why you see a lot of gray. So when I share these old videos, I look at them like, holy cow, I look a lot younger, a lot less gray. But with this comes a sacrifice. With this comes a sacrifice on a lot of things. But if you don't sacrifice for the things that you believe in now, you may not have anything to sacrifice for here in the future, because that's how close we are to losing this little idea called America. So I will continue to do my part and go around and inspire Michigan and America's greatest asset. And that is who? Is we the people. And I think you guys all have to realize that God has put you all in this moment for a reason. For a reason. And so you have to embrace that opportunity, and you can't quit, and you're going to get knocked down, and you're going to get blindsided, and they're going to try to cancel you and attack you and cancel your business and do everything else. Hey, I'm going through it, but it's just, it's part of the game. And you have to understand and know that for an idea, this country, it's for a cause bigger than self. And they call that passion. And so I just want to remind everyone that I will continue to stand up for not only my creator, but for what I believe in, for America, for all of you, but most importantly, for the ones who can't stand up for themselves. And I just want to show a clip and remind everyone what they did to your children and what we've been standing up for, because a lot of people forget that she actually masked up our babies. Here we go.
And we're going to continue to hammer down and always be on the offensive on what this governor has done and what she continues to do to not only us, but our children. And what she's doing to these kids right now is just a shame.
What she has just done is she has lost the middle. You know how? When you mask up babies, you never, ever mask up healthy people. You never, ever mask up children. You never, ever mask up babies. There's too many learning things going on at that age from 2 to 4 years of age that they need to have, that facial recognition, that physiology learning, all these things psychologically. You took away children's experiences. They weren't supporting the kids that got their high school athletics taken away. They didn't support the kids that had gotten their experience stripped away from them, their opportunities, their dreams squashed. The kids are getting hammered right now, and there's no excuse for it. The gig is up, folks. There are other states with no mandates fully open, and their kids are back enjoying life, enjoying experiences, opportunities, and dreams, and our kids just continue to get hammered down because of a political narrative, an agenda. And that is why I am running, and that's why I will win, because I am done with the establishment. I am done.
It's time to lower the fear. It's time to look at the true science and data that's out there. We live in America. We have freedoms. We always have a choice. We have a choice as parents.
I am done with the career politicians. I want real. I want Americans. I want somebody who loves this country, who loves this flag, that has a little business sense. Somebody who's going to stand up and do what's right, not a political pawn. And that is why the establishment doesn't want somebody like me in, because I don't care about this political narrative. I'm not doing this for a political career. I'm doing it for it's right. And I told you all from the very beginning, I will stand up for my creator. I will stand up for myself. I will stand up for my family. And I will stand up for all of you. But most importantly, I will stand up for the people who can't stand up for themselves. And those are our children.
I won't quit. I won't back down. I refuse, because I know what we're fighting for is right. So God bless you. God bless the state of Michigan, of course, and always God bless these United States. Till next time.